this is Annette with Sun to Shine Astrology, and this is Self-Care Sunday. Hello, guys. So, I recorded this entire video, and guess what? There was no audio. I don't know how. I don't care. I'm having to narrate it all over again. So, this will be late, but I'm giving it a shot. Anyhow, this is regarding the week of the 27th through the 31st. The reason why I am not going into the first and into the second is because, guys, I am really wanting to do special stuff for each season regarding the elements and stuff like that. So we're just going to keep this to the 27th through the 31st. This week there will be a first quarter moon in Scorpio. That's going to be on the 27th. And then on the same day, Jupiter in Capricorn, which is in retrograde, is going to be in a sextile with Neptune in Pisces, which is also in retrograde. This is an exact sextile, which is pretty big news. I'm not going to lie. Like, this is huge. Jupiter is the planet that rules expansion. And so everything Jupiter touches, it expands. And then we have Neptune, and Neptune rules the illusions that we create, kind of the rose-colored glass kind of energy. It also has to do with our fantasies, our dreams, you know, the things that we get most hopeful about. It has to do with compassion and love, but it also has to do with mental sensitivities, mental illnesses, that sort of energy. So that's going to be on the 27th. So Jupiter, which is in Capricorn, is going to be conjunct Saturn in Capricorn and Pluto in Capricorn, and all these energies are in retrograde, which means our past is going to be highly emphasized this upcoming week. Past-based energies, this has to do with issues regarding power and control issues. So if anybody has abused power, there could be some secrets that come out this week regarding power, the abuse of power, you know, how power was used to basically overpower others. All that energy is going to come out this week, and it's going to be a pretty tough week. Astrology wise, this is a very active sky. This is a very intense sky because the first quarter moon is in Scorpio, and this particular moon is got some very good energy attached to it. So if you guys are looking to empower yourself, if you are looking to you know, find a way to go into a career you particularly want, or if you are looking at an aspiration and trying to achieve that, or if you are setting goals for the future to bring progress in financial security and you know, down the line, like long-term security, this is a time that you could make really big changes in your life that will eventually lead you to success. Okay, that's the good energy. The intense energy on this is on the 28th, moon in Scorpio. It's going to be in some pretty tough energy as far as in Venus and Mercury. So Venus is what we attract, right? It's in Gemini. Gemini is the duality. It also rules the kind of the mundane world, I would say, or your immediate environment. So it's in a quincunx with that. And Scorpio is very dark and intense, and it's a very deep energy. It has to do with our fears, where we bury things, where we hide things. So truths can be revealed this week. Lies, you may learn about people lying this week. And this could have to do with people fear-mongering this week. It's trying to manipulate you. You're going to see a lot of people manipulating information. You're going to see people telling the same story, but they're telling the same story, but it's two different versions of it. It's going to be super frustrating to know what's real, what's not real. That's going to be coming out this week. And as we go into like, as we go into like, I would say midweek, toward the end of the week, the energy starts to get mentally draining. it starts to make us emotionally sensitive, and it starts to really press our buttons and work in our weaknesses and our fears, and it really unearths some stuff in us. I think it's good stuff that we should face. I think people who fearmonger or controlling government systems, or systems that have power over us, as they try to use fear to control us, I think that this energy is, we're starting to learn the game, right? We're starting to learn how people like to manipulate. This will be a week of very intense realizations. Now, for some of us, that could be very, very tough. It can make us feel like we need to escape, like we can't handle it. We may feel mentally overwhelmed. It might be a time where a lot of us regress into some really bad habits, some things that we do to sabotage ourselves, or places where we don't have control over on a personal level. It's also a place where we go when we are defensive. So you're going to see a lot of people having these defensive stances that are very, very unattractive. To be honest with you, it's very frustrating. And so we're going to have to be strong. This is a time when we will learn what we're made of. We will have to have the courage of the lion, because this is still Leo season. People are going to be fired up, and there's some very intense energies. So all week the sun in Leo is in a square with Uranus and Taurus. Also all week, Mercury in Cancer is going to be in a square with Mars in Aries. Well, so the sun in Leo, we've got this. I feel like for the Taurians out there, this is going to be a push, a hard push, but a push. So anybody who's slow to respond to things or needs to think things through, this won't be the energy that kind of lets you do that. This has to be that energy where it pushes you and you initiate action. So for some of you who have a hard time initiating action, it's probably a really good energy, right? The other thing is we have this whole Mercury in Cancer. So there's a weight in the energy. There's an emotional connection to everything that's going on around you, and the information that you are receiving may evoke an emotional response in you, and then that may make you overreact and be very defensive, very impulsive, and do something that you're going to regret. This will activate the warrior very easily in you, so you're going to want to hold that down and just stay in the high vibe. We've talked a lot about the low vibe. High vibe for the week, I would say, is we have, if you are willing to take the bull by the horns and you are going to empower your life and you're going to make choices that are good for you, despite what you're being told, despite what the information is, if you're trusting your gut instinct and you're very tuned into your intuition, you will weather the storm just fine, right? Because this is a journey you've been on for a while. Things that may be activated in your life, or fears you may respond to, or triggers you may have. It's been a journey with these energies in you. And so this is a time to take back your power in that particular area of your life and say, well, I'm being triggered. I get this about me. Like I get where I'm coming from, all that kind of stuff. And you may get a handle on it, and you may feel like you're very happy about what's going on. There's going to be a lot of fighting and drama and really dramatic interactions with people. We're going to see a lot on the media that is going to be incredibly annoying. Sorry, I just talked for like 2 hours, and now I'm talking again for 2 more hours to get through this whole thing. So you're going to see where people who are in power over us, this is a political stage. This has everything to do with politics and everything to do with how you identify with politics or particular political opinions or perspectives or belief systems. It will trigger all of those things. And debates are sure to happen in this energy. This is going to be a very combustible energy because it has emotion backing it. So we're going to want to dial that back, and we're going to want to stay in the vibe. I would personally, to stay in the high vibe of this energy, you're going to have to just shut down. You're going to have to shut down anybody or anything that evokes fear in you, or that evokes triggering in you, or that makes you feel like you are not in a good place, a safe place, a place that you can manage, a place that you can stay empowered in. So for instance, for me, when I see a week like this, I'm like, dude, I'm not watching politics. Unless they say something about a stimulus and I see it everywhere, I'm not going to watch it, because it can pull you into a negative headspace, and we don't want to go there. I mean, because one of the things that makes me a little nervous is by the end of the week, there's some pretty intense squares in a moon in Taurus with Neptune and Pisces. And so at least in the north, I'm from the Northwest and I'm in the United States. So in that particular area, because the moon's positioning, there's some really intense squares going to go down, and you're going to see people pushed to a mental limit. You're going to feel mentally strained. It's a time where you'll see people want to escape and overindulge and just do anything to hide from the intensity. And that is why I say throughout the week, really, you have the control to be subjected to anything. You have the control to not go on any sort of media if you really want to. You don't need to be informed, not when it's a bunch of petulant children fighting and not agreeing, and they can't, there's no middle ground, and so they're just fighting back and forth. I mean, why do you want to subject your energy to that negativity? I mean, that's a choice. If you need to stay informed, okay, but just know that there's usually a consequence that happens with downloading that much negativity into your body. Like, it will drag down your energy and suck you down to wherever they want to manipulate you, which is usually in a place of fear, so that they can control you and make you feel like you have no control over your circumstance. So it's just very important this week that you be very mindful. Almost do things that inspire you and make you think of the things that you used to once dream of. Or I know with me, I've really gotten back into my art, and I'm really obsessed with my art. And so I don't feel the need to come home and watch news and see what's going on when I'm distracted by my art. That's the best thing to do with all this Neptune energy, is to create something, to make something beautiful, to dream of something, to think about something that makes you feel good. Stay away from drugs, alcohol, because you will overindulge, because it's easy to want to escape in this type of energy and to escape into a world where you may overindulge. And I mean, it sounds terrible, but it's a place where people are going to lose self-control. Okay, so this whole time is a challenge. It's a challenge from the universe for you to say, can I say no? Can I say no to things that hurt me, that bother me, that make me feel powerless? Can I make choices, have enough self-control not to indulge in that, and to do things that only empower my energy and empower myself? So that is your week. We're going to get more into exactly what's going on. So just think about this first quarter moon that's going to be in Scorpio. It has two energies. It has a really, really intensely negative, terrible energy. If you get caught up in the mundane world and just your immediate environment and the buzz and the reactions of others, and if you kind of feed off of that energy and get caught up in the drama and the gossip and all that stuff that's going to happen, then you are going to have one tough week. If you can look at this time from the big picture, look at it as a time where you are developing habits and you are developing self-control and you are empowering yourself and you are determined and you're focused and you're strong and you're making decisions based on what's going on. You have to make decisions, you have to be informed, but you don't have to be saturated. There's a difference of like knowing and then saturating yourself in negativity. You understand what I'm saying? Anyhow, guys, why don't you go ahead and pick your pile? We have 3 piles to pick from. Okay, we have pile number 1, the Empress, pile number 2, the Tower, and pile number 3, the Sun, and we're going to be right back. Hi guys, thank you for choosing pile number 1, and you have chosen the Empress. Now the Empress is my very, very favorite card because whatever she touches grows. And so you are assured this week to have a very divine energy guiding you through this week. She actually is somebody who is reliable and she is solid, and she's mothering, nurturing, loving on top of it as well. And she's very divine. So I think what you're really connected with during this particular week is all the Capricorn energy that's out there. It's an earth-based energy, and she is an earth-based energy since she's Mother Earth. And so there's a lot of energy going on in Earth right now, especially this week. And what you're going to notice is there's going to be this really beautiful energy if you can attach to the high vibe. That is Jupiter in Capricorn, which is in a sextile with Neptune and Pisces. So if you guys are interested in, generating growth, career aspirations, she's very divine, and she's going to be guiding you through this week to help you embrace that type of energy. So we're going to start out with your spirit animal here. And you got the camel, which is fire energy. So let's read a little bit about the camel here. Okay, so the camel is resourceful, independent, and knows oneself. The camel can handle absolutely anything as it carries a wealth of nourishment within. This wondrous creature is self-reliant and handles challenge with ease. Even in the face of excess, judgment, or anger, the camel searches inside for the cool elixir of the water to calm the situation. The camel represents the ultimate form of bringing opposites to balance, fire and water, and being responsible for one's own actions and reactions. The camel is a wonderful traveler and is especially fond of trips from faraway lands. So the one thing I like about the two, as the Empress and the camel, is that we have an actual moon in Scorpio, which is going to make you really, really resourceful. And with all of this energy in Capricorn, you may have to seek out like resources at this point so that you can, with all this fire-based energy in the camel, take action. Now, anything you want, she can make manifest in your life. She's the archetype. She's the energy that's overlooking your week. And so, she can make it grow. So you really want to get as resourceful as possible with any issues that can come up this week. As this is one of those weeks that's kind of like a little bit crazy. And so you want to make sure, that you're pretty prepared and that you are ready for this week, because the energy is so intense this week, guys. There's a lot of negativity. There's a lot of fire-based energy. It's a lot of reactive energy. And so really what you want to do, I think for you, what would be really good is to ground yourself and to stay in a place where you are pretty relaxed. And nature's a great place to just ground yourself. I'm just going to mess with these for a minute the candle was really hot. I was getting a little nervous. So, okay. So let's see what your planets have to say right now regarding this energy before I get started into your oracle cards, because I really get into oracle cards. So, this is a great time because whatever Jupiter touches, it expands, especially in Earth energy, guys. And so, what you really want to do is make sure that, if this is a career, life, path, destiny thing, any power and control issues, empowering yourself, you can really work on self love and have a lot manifest and grow within yourself, grow to love yourself. That's really possible in this type of energy. Um, and turning to people that you can rely on, has really good solid advice. An elder is a really good idea. Somebody who's kind of been through the same things as you as well. I'm going to just stick these over here. So guys, what's the tea for the week? Let's see right here. So first of all, let's see what you guys are going to work on here. And you have wealth. I like wealth. Wealth to me is very interesting because it's not success. It's not money. Wealth is long term. It is something that lasts for a lifetime. It's something that you can rely on. It's stable. It's secure. And that is the energy that's embraced in the camel as well as in the Empress. So you want to think about long range goals, things that will make you financially secure in the long run, things especially as far as in your career, your life path, destiny. The next one we have is the dog, a close friendship. And the dog is pleasure with a close friend. So I can see that, I just have to make sure that this is still taping, and it is. Sorry about that. Just wanted to check on that. Okay. So the next one that we're going to take a look at is tulip, and that is great passion. Ooh, I love that you guys get passion because in all this fire-based energy, we have a sun in Leo, so that's a lot of heart-based energy. So if you pour your heart into something, the Empress can help it grow this week. If you really, really, really want something to grow and to manifest its true potential. So, I also see that, with the dog here, I think it's like really, really powerful. So the next we have is love, and there is nothing more heart-based than just good old-fashioned love for a Leo. For you guys, especially with the Empress, she is represented by Venus, and so attracting somebody that you love, something that you love, attraction is on the table here. So we have the Ace of Cups. That's interesting. And again, we have the love, so you may be attracting something that has to do with an offer of love or an offer that's heart-based, something that's very heart-based to you may come into your life. Also, this could be something that's emotionally abundant eventually, but something new. Okay. And just, yeah, I mean, especially with the Empress, something that has emotional momentum is on the table for you. I keep just getting drawn to the fact that you have Empress, which is Venus. Venus is in Gemini. So there's some duality. Let's see what else we have here for planets. Okay, we have the Six of Swords here. Okay, so we have the Six of Swords, which means movement. And then we have it looks like we have the Queen of Swords here. Okay, in reverse. Okay, so I see that you're trying to move forward with something. You have a Six of Swords here, and that suggests movement. And it has to do with something in your immediate environment because Mercury is the planet depicted in the card. So you are definitely moving forward with something that's very heart-based. And I think from what I can tell, let's see here. We have the Queen of Swords and it's in reverse. So I feel like this is something that you might be just a little bit insecure about. I think you might be just a little, feeling a little bit, um, I don't think insecure. I just think it's a tough decision that was made. And so I don't feel like you're feeling like quite the queen's energy in this card right now. And so let's see here. Sorry, I'm trying to. Okay, so we have the Queen of Swords here in reverse. And anytime she's in reverse, I feel like there's a defensive stance with her a little bit. Okay, we have the Three of Cups, and the Three of Cups, threes are ruled by the Empress, so that's interesting. And then we have the Page Swords here. So the Page of Swords suggests that you are embarking on something new. So this could be a new friendship, something that you had to leave behind. Maybe the energy around the world, right? Your particular environment is all new and fresh, and it's just different energy. And that does make you tend to feel like a fish out of water. I can see that sometimes when you're like embarking on something new, especially when I see movement, in the Six of Swords energy right here. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm seeing the correlation between, I feel like it's exciting and it's new, but you're letting go of something. We do have the Nine of Wands here, and Nine of Wands represents completions. And so maybe you're just relying more on friends right now than you used to, or maybe friends are going to be very important, or, maybe you're going to start forming a new friendship and you're going to get to know a lot more about yourself through this friendship, something that's going to help you move past whatever's going on with this queen that's in reverse here. That's a feminine energy, so it has something to do with the way that, things that are important to the feminine energy. This is interesting. So we have the Seven of Wands, and the Seven of Wands is a defensive position. We also have the Queen of Swords, and that is also a defensive position. But look at this Nine of Wands. She is fully embracing who she is. She's very resourceful. She's very centered on herself because the sun is in Leo right now. You may be letting go of something, but and you may be getting maybe some criticism, or maybe people are giving you advice that you don't want to hear. That could be some of it right now because you're making decisions to move forward with your life. We do have Temperance here, and we have the Ace of Wands. And so definitely you're going a new route, you're taking different actions right now. I definitely think that these are all heart-based. You have a lot of heart-based energy here. Sevens do suggest that you are moving on with things, you're changing things, and it's a period of growth. So, okay, and Temperance is like you've got to balance out. I see the sun and the moon represented in this card, and so that's the masculine action-oriented energy with the divine feminine energy. So we have the masculine and the feminine kind of, we're battling those two right now. And we do have Mercury in Cancer, and then we have the sun in Leo. So if you look at it, it's like you've got to be, it's a constant battle to keep things in balance. And when you have the sun and the moon represented, that's a lot. That's really zeroing in on your emotional self and your soul as well with this card. And so it could be, because you do have cups represented here, and we do have wands represented here. So we have the feminine and the masculine energy represented here as well. So I do see that in this card. So I do think for now, what you really have to do is, I really think that friends are going to be a central point for you. I do think that you're gonna feel a little bit of a relief. I feel like some of you have been missing connections with friends. That may be some of the imbalance right now. With everything that's going on in the world, it may be hard to find that temperate point, that point where you feel like there's a sense of moderation. So let's take a look at the other cards here. So we have 46, and that is domestic harmony. So again, we're coming up with a card that has to do with balance and harmony. And I always think of like Libras in this energy. We also have the 4 and 6 represented. So that's, 2 and 2 and 3 and 3. So to me, those are numbers where you're trying to balance and, you have like a weight on one side and a weight on the other, I think of. So I'm feeling vibes, but we also have like a 4 and a 6. 6 is the lovers energy. So there could be stuff having to do with home and family. It could have to do with your relationships, partnerships, and unions. We do have love represented here. And so I do think that that is very interesting that we have like all of these correlating. And this is a very heart-based time, with this Ace of Cups here. And so it is a time where, if you look at this energy right now, it is hard to stay in balance. It's a constant struggle to find that place of harmony in such an extreme time, in literally black and white, or the sun and the moon, like these extremes that I feel like we're all in right now. Oh, and look at this card, you guys. So these are the soul cards, and another card where you have duality represented. So duality, we have Venus in Gemini, and that's a very dualistic energy right now. So, and it's in Venus, which is attraction, and you do have the Empress as well. So that's all coming together, you guys, as far as I'm concerned. You do have to watch again. It's asking you to be moderate, is to be temperate, to be able to flip back and forth, not be so rigid in your thinking. That's also being represented here for some reason for you. I do think of all this energy that we have right now, in Venus's energy. And so it's a lot about self-control. It's about being patient, but taking action at the same time. I mean, the timing, knowing when the timing is right. Okay. So I feel like, with everything that's going on, I feel like what you could be dealing with the Sun and Leo squaring off with Uranus and Taurus for you, because you also have the Empress here. She is a kind of an earth-based energy. So I'm just going to pull these off to the side real quick because it's just easier for me to lay down your oracle cards. But as I was saying, Uranus and Taurus squaring off with the Sun and Leo, you do have all this action-oriented energy. You have wands represented here. So you want to be mindful that you're staying grounded in this energy. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. Okay, so you guys have great adventure. Take a risk and venture forward. And I do see that you guys are moving forward. If you see, we have the Ace of Wands here, we have the 7 of Wands, and we have the 9 of Wands. So this is something where you're taking action and you're moving forward. And we also have the 6 of Swords represented here. So this is definitely movement and action in this card. And risk represents Leo's energy, or Leo represents risk's energy, however you want to look at it. Okay, let's see the next one. Okay, we have commitment here. So I do think it's something where you are making a commitment. You're maybe taking some action. I'm feeling like some of you may be moving on, buying a house, maybe I'm feeling like you're making a commitment to something too. You're like taking an action that will change things. But every time I'm looking at this card, for some reason, I'm getting the vibe that you're thinking about moving, looking for a house, selling a house, signing a contract of some kind, finally moving on and having the courage to do so and kind of just risking it all right now. For some of you, it could just mean that, you're making a commitment to yourself to empower your life and to move forward with something. I do see that. Okay, so you guys got the Golden Palace. And again, I was like really drawn to the whole correlation between the commitment and, the legal contract and the Empress here. It does feel kind of like a home situation. I think of Golden Palace, I think of your home. And then we have the snail here, and I'm going to get the book really quick here. Okay, so we have the snail here. Silently, the snail glides across a leaf, leaving behind a glistening trail of where he's been, tentatively exploring the world around him. He's got one eye stalk fixed in front of him, and then the other one scanning the past or the future. He also carries his home within him, a shell of protection. The snail reminds us of the precautions to recognize the difference between taking our time versus procrastination, and to curb bad or dangerous behaviors before they cause irreparable damage or harm. The snail says, slow down and enjoy the scenery. Go ahead, give it a taste while you're at it. Like the snail, be sure to carry protection with you so you don't have to leave the most valuable parts of yourself on display for you to follow your path. While the snail is known for being slow, anyone who tends the garden knows how quickly he can become destructive if left unchecked. Interesting. Okay. So we do have cards that represent being temperate and moderate and being in balance. And so you do probably, there's going to be a haste and a need to move forward and a need to be very progressive in this energy. But that is definitely not encouraged in this energy. Okay, so we have the journey here, the essence. The journey is the invitation to step outside of the boundaries of your life as you know it. The journey is not a holiday. It is a time to be hermit-like and to go on a pilgrimage of the unknown. There are no maps to the territory you will be exploring, no marked paths, and no road signs. This journey is calling you, but timing is premature. So what you want to do is move forward, but you want to move forward with precision. And you do have a lot of cards that are signifying the need for you to move forward. You have the Six of Swords here. We also have the Nine, which indicates, or Nine of Wands, which indicates a completion. So it is time to be moving forward with something, that's for sure, because you have that journey card. And you are a journey. I think everybody's on a journey right now. We have dreams. This is a beautiful card. This reminds me of the Neptune and Pisces energy. So that's the sextile that we have. And it's just beautiful. So if you've ever dreamed of something, want something, now is the time to envision it and think about moving toward it. It's a time to really take some time. You might be getting messages in your dreams. You might be seeing things. Oh, this is the Oath card. The Oath card is a very powerful card for me because this is an oath and a commitment to yourself. This is something that I feel that you feel very strong about. And this journey that you're going on as you're moving forward, this is something that you're doing for yourself. You know, the sun is in Leo, so this is centering you and zeroing you in on yourself at this moment. And so for some of you, what this is just this need to be, you know, moving forward with something that I think is very soul-based. It's very heart-based in this energy. Okay, let's see what's next. Okay, so we have release your guilt, the Clover. And I see the fire behind her. And so I feel like, again, this is that completion of something, the ending to something. And I feel like with this Queen of Swords, I feel like there's a reluctance, or at least, you know, something that makes you feel like, you know, it's difficult. I think it's mentally difficult, and I think that can be where you're feeling this guilt. But anytime you move forward, you're always leaving something behind or someone behind, and that can make you feel rather guilty about your choices. But when you move towards something that's incredibly heart-based, there's such a need for it. And the fire is in you. It's burning right now. And so I can definitely feel that for you. Okay. So we have the Friendship card, and friendship was accentuated by your cards here. So you had the Three of Cups, and then the Empress rules the Three of Cups, and then you have friendship. So this has something to do with close friends, some advice from friends, moving toward friends. This is something that has to do a lot with your friendships. Okay, guys. Okay, we're going to get your letters here. Hold on just a second. Let me put these over here so we have some room to do the letters. You can always see them better with the black background. So, okay, guys, let's dig. We're going to dig and dig and dig, dig deep. as deep as the moon in Scorpio here. So let's see what we have right now. Okay, I was just checking to see if we were still filming. At this time, we have no audio. I don't know it, so I'm having to voice over, but that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so we have quit. We have quits. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, we have bus. Some of you might take a bus on that journey of yours. Let's see here. Do we have leave? Okay, so yeah, some of you are leaving. Remember the journey, you've got all that movement energy in your cards today. Interesting. I see Levi here. We have Chan here. So those are just names that I'm seeing. It could be Levy too. Or Levi. Thinking of Levy, I don't know why. Let me see what else we have here. Oh, we have business. Yeah, okay. So you were talking about wealth up there. So you do have business represented here. Maybe some of you will have to move or relocate, or maybe some of you are having to consider leaving somewhere for business, or maybe you have to make a change having to do with business. Okay. Is there anything else here I can think of? Okay. Oh, I thought we had changes. Oh, we do have changes because we can use this tile. So you have changes and you are making a lot of change. And when we saw all those wands, man, you're going through a lot of changes right now. And you're all that progressive energy moving forward. That's pretty intense. Okay. So let's look at your numbers here, guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and just dig in here. Okay. All right. So I'm going to let you guys take a look at this because I actually can't see them. In the window I'm looking at, they're too small, so I'm so sorry. But I'll arrange them and you can tell me what they are. I'll list them. Oh, I hate the fact that I have to do this voiceover. I'm so sorry. Okay, guys, so we are all done here. Thank you so much. And I just hope that you guys be the change that you want to see in the world. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And thank you so much for tuning in. And I look forward to talking to you guys again next week. Hi guys, thank you for choosing pile number 2. You have chosen the Tower card, and we definitely have a lot of energy in Tower moments this week. This week is going to be filled with power and control issues and struggles for people to empower themselves. And so if you've chosen pile number 2, then this can be a very shocking, surprising, and very unique time in your life where I don't think you're entirely, it's not a very comfortable feeling to have a moment where you go through a shocking experience. I know that for me, I've had some of my strongest experiences when I am at the state where I have just had a realization, an intense realization. And this has to do with maybe things in your life that you thought were as strong foundations as you thought was rooted in stability, but now is not. And that's what the Tower card is. It kind of shakes all that up. So let's take a look at what is going on in your reading today. We're going to take a look at the T first. Okay. Oh, no, we're going to do the spirit animal first. Sorry about that. So you got the oyster. Okay. Okay, so we're going to get the book here. I'm still learning this book. All right. All right, so the oyster is patient, secret keeper, hiding inner treasures. The focus and determination of the oyster is unmatched. Anything an oyster personality puts their mind to, they achieve with grace and charm. The only problem is the oyster types often take their inner gifts for granted. They become shy or doubtful, and this can lead to withdrawing or protecting your deepest desires and life's work. When the oyster card appears, it's important to reveal your inner treasures. What is it that you are hesitant to share, and what is the world waiting to see? It's very interesting. It says, So I'm very interested in this because you have the Tower card here and you have the oyster, and that suggests to me that there was a time period in your life where maybe you were repressing something that you really wanted, and this shocking tower moment is getting you back in touch with that thing that lives inside of you, that purpose, that thing that that you should be centering your life on. Again, so when a tarot card happens, it shakes things up, and so it makes you focus on the things that you should. I know that in most of my deepest and darkest times is when I really truly found some inner truths about myself. So we're going to look at what the planets have to say here. But I do want to take a look at the tea for the week. Okay. All right. So the first card is going to be your career. And so a lot of you, especially with all this Capricorn energy, are going through a change in your life's purpose. For some of you, what you thought was secure maybe wasn't secure. Maybe there was a job change, job loss. There was some instability in the career path that you were on. And so maybe you're revisiting that right now. And that's what it suggests with this oyster card here as well, is that there was some sort of change that you need to progress with that I think is going to bring more stability in the long run. Okay, so the next card we have is bird perched, waiting for news, a package or letter. So maybe some of you guys are waiting for a letter, a job offer. Maybe you're going to get a text or an email that's going to be coming soon, that has something to do with this transitional moment in your life. It's going to be good news for some of you if you're not nervous about change. Okay, the next card that we have is Diamond. You will be receiving or giving a precious gift. Ooh, I'd love that one. So maybe some of you, it's just, a gift that comes to you. I love that. And then the very next one we have is a bow. And so, is a purse. Pay attention to your finances. So this might have something to do with your financial pursuits, your finances. You just want to be mindful that you don't try to self-soothe through shopping when you get in these tense moments. I know that I have a tendency to do that at times as well. It's totally understandable. So let's see what these planets have to say about this moment of transition. I'm just going to shuffle here a little bit more. I've been through a lot of tower moments, and tower moments have really shown me what I've made of. All the courage I have in me, all the strength I have in me that I didn't know I had. We do have the sun in Leo right now. Okay, so we have the Eight of Cups, we have the Three of Pentacles, and we have the Six of Cups in reverse. Okay, here. So for some of you, this has a lot to do with something that is in your past. Okay. All right, let's take a look at all of these now. I think a lot of this may have to do with something that as a child you were suppressed, this purpose that lives inside of you, this thing that you were kind of always destined to do. I feel like that was suppressed during childhood. And I feel like you're letting go of all of that. This is a very emotional time. If you go through a tower moment, it can be very difficult to fully transition, as you deal with these emotions of letting go and this remorse and moving on. I mean, You tend to hold on in energy like this. But we do have the Three of Pentacles here. It does suggest that you are working on your career and your finances. I do believe right now that many of us are going through this Tower moment. And this Tower moment is making us think about the longevity of our career choices. And I'm feeling like there's something that has to do with maybe somebody overpowered you and took away your choices when you were young, and then you fell into a pattern. But you are really letting go of this pattern here. We do have Pisces represented here in the Eight of Cups. And so, just taking a look at that. I do think that, as we look at this, the Eight of Cups is one of the hardest things to deal with because it is the action and the change. And then we have the Tower suggesting that this change is deeply, deeply emotional for certain. And it could be bringing back the past. Now we are in all this retrograde energy. And so, anytime we deal with retrograde energy, we do tend to regress. And that could be some of this childhood stuff I see here, like a slight regression. Back and being triggered. I mean, anytime your stability is threatened, it kind of like, brings out fear in you. This moon in Scorpio. Okay, so we have the Four of Swords here. You're needing to remove yourself from a situation. You just need a mental timeout. You need to relax and kind of process what's going on with you, especially if you're in a Tower moment. You have to kind of, reassess the situation, reevaluate. And you have the Five of Pentacles too. I am feeling loss and remorse, and I'm feeling some very intense energy. So I feel like you are more caught in the moon in Scorpio. We have this first quarter moon in Scorpio, and, then later on that week, we have a pretty intense, like, quincunxes. And so I'm feeling like maybe that is going to pull you into these deep rooted things that's going to be unearthed a little bit in you as you're processing and moving forward and empowering your life. Anytime you get into a Tower moment, you're at this moment where you wake up parts of you and you basically break down things that don't serve you and you awaken things that do. Oh, I'm so happy to see the World here. Let's see this other. Ooh, we also have the Nine of Swords. So again, that's a completion. It's a cycle ending. And then we have the 21. We have the World card. That suggests also the end of a cycle. So yeah, you are working through something that has been a very long karmic journey for you. And I feel like, if you want to know, I feel like some of this goes back to some very deeply embedded auto programming and just kind of childhood stuff that you are letting go of and removing from your life and empowering it. So look at this time of transition as basically you are figuring out who you are and centering your life around what you should have always centered it on before somebody took that power away from you. And I feel like there's a lot of regret and remorse, and that there's a lot of past energy in this reading, guys. This is a pretty emotional reading for me. Like, I feel it. It's very intense to feel, and I feel like the burden. So this, I feel like work is going to be very cathartic for some of you as you define your purpose. And I feel like once you start defining that purpose, I feel like this will put this transition into a positive spin. Yes, we got the High Priestess. Oh, that's such a relief. This is the end of the week. And we got the Hierophant. Wow, how beautiful is this energy? Look at this, you guys. Okay, so anytime you go through this level of Tower moment, it will test your faith. It will test your ability to think that you've made good decisions or that, you've made smart decisions in your life. You will really rehash a lot of stuff with all this retrograde energy. but you are being opened up to a different level in your life, a different experience. You are leveling up. And anytime you have this breakthrough, that tower moment, that opening up, consider yourself breaking and receiving more of a download. So this feels like you are getting a huge download in spirit right now. And it's absolutely, I feel it's very stunning, but I have been through these moments personally myself, and they're very troubling to go through because they can feel very mentally overwhelming and very intense to feel. You can definitely be attaching a lot to this moon in Scorpio. You're diving deep and you're unearthing, and so you're going to want to pull back. Some of the best stuff you can do right now is pull back and kind of really take some time to yourself to receive this message fully from spirit. This is a spiritual experience for you. You are walking on a different path. This to me is just absolutely stunning. Let's see what we have here. We have 77. Wow. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at this spiritual experience that you are having, spirituality. You are having an awakening. And I think of the purple with the, I think of it as just like opening up and having this, it's almost like this intense download of, of faith in yourself, but also a connection to spirit. Whatever you define spirit to be, that's okay. It's you're receiving for sure in this energy. And I'm blown away by the feeling that I'm getting. The intensity, yes, but it's a beautiful feeling that I am getting to feel from this for you guys anyway. Okay, we're gonna take a look here in just a second here. Okay, so we're taking a look at the soul card. Okay, I wanted you to take a look at this card. Look at the spark in this card. Look at that. And there's an illumination happening. So the sun is in Leo. It's an illuminating soul opening experience that you are having. And this is purposeful energy. I think of the oyster, excuse me, and you're being illuminated and awakened by this intense time right now. It's almost as if this intensity was exactly what you needed to become this woke. I mean, that's such an overused term, but I believe it in your circumstance wholeheartedly. Okay, and then isn't that beautiful? Embracing enthusiasm, shout up to the heavens with happiness. Wow. Again, more talk about spirit and aligning with something bigger than you, something that's on a very expansive and very, I keep thinking of ethereal level, but like a very, um, I know that when I get these intense downloads, they're kind of mind blowing a little bit. And so I will need that Four of Swords right there. It usually makes me pull back and it makes me a little bit nervous. Okay. And then we have playing it safe, intention. Again, you need some time to yourself. You need some time to yourself to straighten everything out, to decipher everything, to work this all out mentally. Because as you're letting go of something, it could have been a perception, it could have been a belief system, it could have been, something that you once had a lot of faith in. You will definitely need to, as I'm going to move these over, guys, for you. I'm going to move these over so that I have more room for the oracle cards here. Be just a second here. Okay. I like to have these just as reference. Okay. All right, next card that we have is unexpected visitors. Okay, I'm going to tell you what this feels like to me. This feels like as you're trying to take time to yourself. Okay, please forgive me if you don't believe this way. I'm sorry. But this just feels like you are connected to spirit because of the moon in Scorpio. I feel like unwanted visitors for you might be on some paranormal level, on some level where it's like your spirit guides, like you might, I don't know, you might just feel something unearthly. I don't know, like I'm just getting that vibe because this is such a connection to a different level of life. And so and then the dream, yeah. Okay, and then we have roots here. And I'm going to want to read the book on this one for sure because I haven't really had this one before. Okay, so let's take a look at the roots card here. So, roots. Our roots are made up of many things: our ancestors, the people in our immediate and chosen families, and the places we come from. Roots can direct us not just to who we are, but also how and why things are the way they are. Underneath the skin and the soil, the heart sees truly. Consider, where do you come from? What are your roots? And where do you wish to take root and grow? This is amazing, guys. This is amazing because there is so much synchronicity with this. Because if you remember, we had these 6 of Cups and it's in reverse. And so to me, this has a lot to do with your childhood. And like I said, roots run deep. These feelings run deep. It also could be that you are thinking of, just your ancestors, people who have passed on. I'd also think you could be dreaming about them, but also I really think this has a lot to do with belief systems that are instilled in us, and then we root off of that, and that's being broke down at this present time. Okay. I do see that the energy is, gosh, the red. I'm just seeing the red. The spiral. I love just anything having to do with the spiral. I kind of went in this huge study about it because I didn't actually know anything about it. So hold on, I'm going to get the book again. Okay, let me just find it here. All right. All right. The spiral. From galaxies in the sky to shells at the beach, the spiral is found extensively in the natural world. The shape in the form of a coiled serpent has been used since ancient times as a tool for growth and transformation. The spiral is a guide for entering deep into one's consciousness and the unknown, and then extending far out into the heavens. It is crucial to surrender to this journey until you have exhausted everything, and the depths of the psyche and in its energy is released to give birth into a new reality. That is very interesting. It does say that the spiral announces the descent into the depths and a rebirth. Okay. So I do feel that. I feel like, okay, so the spiral is a very fortunate omen. It's a sign of spirit as well. Wow, you guys are just getting so much energy around. It's crazy around this like this opening up to something bigger and larger than just the material realm. I don't feel like you're connected too much to all. It's almost like a Plutonian experience. Okay, and then you guys have simplicity. We talked a lot about simplicity. You need to simplify everything. You need to have this 4 of Swords in your life so that you can be a receiver. Simplifying everything is going to help you be really, really calm, playing it safe. You can see how peaceful she is. It's a time where you have to figure this experience out for yourself. You have to be illuminated, and that's going to take some patience and time to deal with. Okay, so the next thing is, and then look at this card, you guys, understanding, and look how she is opening herself up to be a receiver, and I keep seeing receiving. I mean, it's so clear to me as you are getting this message from spirit. I mean, you guys are honed in like I have never, never, never seen this before. It's crazy. Okay, so let's pull these down here for a second. Let's take a look at the next card. I love this card so deeply, so much, because it is just you being you, embracing who you are, it is just you completely like a lioness. You've earned all your stripes. You're just embracing your body. You don't really care. You're taking some alone time. You're doing a little self-love, self-care. I keep thinking of that Four of Swords, and the need for you to kind of check out and be alone and kind of just do your own thing right now. Oh my gosh, you guys, we have transformation. What the heck? And then look at, I keep seeing all the purple in this reading as well. Just this beam of light of just, I can't even tell you. Like, look at all the purple. I don't know. I don't know why I'm so turned into the color purple. Purple and gold are Leo colors. So this is just a centering sun moment. You're really embracing this Leo energy. Okay, I'm going to move these all to the side, guys. Oh God, transformation. That's so, I love your vibe, guys. You have a really, really, really beautiful reading. I know it's a tower moment, but trust me. Okay. Let's take a look at here. I'm going to dig super duper deep. Super deep. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, let's take a look at these. Okay, guys. So we got a clock here, and I'm very interested in this because it's making me think of a completion, of how long it's took to complete this cycle, to receive like this. When the world card comes into your life, it's the ending of a very, very long journey with Saturn, usually. Or there's some sort of karmic lesson or some sort of something that takes a really long time to learn. We also have the arrow here, and that talks about the direction that you're going in. And in this tower moment, you're redefining your life and the direction that it needs to go in. And it is about timing. I mean, the time is right to receive this information. You weren't able to do it before this moment. And then it just says brave here. And you do need to be brave. I mean, this is Leo season, so you do need to have the courage and be brave and to, feel inspired by all of this Leo energy. We do have the King of Cups here, and I am thinking about a moment for you that is deeply emotional. This is a moment that will define things regarding, I think, maybe some past-based things, some childhood things, but also, incorporating that and making the changes to let go of that, because that is what this time is about. It's about empowering us, letting us know that we can let go of things. That cycle has ended. We don't need to define ourselves that way anymore. We do have 7 here. Again, we have another 7, guys. We have 77, we have a 7. So 7s are very important to you. And 7 just is a time, it's a transitionary moment. We did have transformation as well. And so I feel like this is a very defining moment for you. As you have this Plutonian, I feel like this is a very Plutonian feel to this. Because anytime you go through a Plutonian moment, it's like, whoa. Okay. Okay, I'm going to dig deep, guys. Deep as a moon in Scorpio. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Deeper. Wait a minute. Let me get a handful. Okay. Okay, hopefully we have a lot of vowels here. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I was still filming. I'm filming, but I have no sound, which is why I'm doing the narration. Thank you so much. Making this video twice as long to edit and to load. I don't even think I'm going to sleep tonight. Okay, let's take a look here. We have Pine. Pine Street. And I'm thinking message. Address is mail. I feel like you might be getting something through the mail. City. See, again, I'm feeling like a letter, like an actual physical letter because of the message in here. And plus city and Pine Street, and we're getting street. I've never kind of tuned into that before, so that's very interesting to me. I don't know why I'm just getting this, like, I don't know, something to do with addresses. Me. You're definitely receiving. This is a lot about you this time. Lime and coke. Never mind. Nobody needs to see that. Okay. Okay. Yeah. See, Mill Street. I don't know why I'm getting like addresses. That's like, I don't know. Like you're getting a letter from, you'll get some news through a letter. Very interesting to me. It might have something to do with like an offer letter. Very interesting. Okay, let me see here. I'm just trying to find it. Where is it? Okay. Okay, we have fog. Well, this will tend to make you feel a bit foggy unless you take some time to yourself. Don't overload yourself. Make sure that, like, again, you simplify and you keep your headspace in a really healthy health and headspace because you can get mentally overwhelmed in tower moments, okay? Let's see what else we have here. Oh, I thought could have, I was thought maybe victory, but we don't have an R. Darn. Nobody loves to spell victory like me. Okay. Gift? Interesting. And you had the diamond or gifts? Okay. And hey, you. Hey. All right. And then what else do we have here? I'm not going to say it, but it can feel like this when you're having this tower moment. Okay. I just can't say the word because it's not an appropriate YouTube word. But okay, that's what I can find right now. So we're going to go on to, okay, dig in for some numbers, guys. And I'm just going to lay these out. All right. Okay, guys. Well, that is it for you. You do have some very divinely guided numbers here. I would definitely take a look at these, see if they apply to you. These could be dates. They could be specifically around, these are very spiritual numbers. And so I would definitely say that you guys are very, very in tune with a time in your life that I don't think you've ever encountered before. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I just want you to be the change that you want to see in the world, okay, guys? I hope that you have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you guys again next week. Hi, guys. Welcome to pile number 3. This is my pile. I always pick pile number 3 because I'm a life path 3. So we have the sun. The sun is in Leo right now, and so you can feel the heat and the energy coming off of this card. It's such a vibrant energy. It's so full of life. It's just, it has to do with the way that you shine, the way that you externalize what is so great about you, what attracts people to you. It's that type of energy. The sun is very centering. Everything revolves around the sun. So this is something very centralized to you. This is something you're zeroing in, you're focusing on. It has a lot to do probably with the first quarter moon because that's all the energy that happens in that first quarter moon is, the energy that you put into the new moon starts to flourish and grow and set root in the first quarter of the moon. So the sun nourishes that energy, right? And gives it vitality to grow and energy to just produce a lot of strength in the plant. So let's take a look here, guys. Okay, let me just set this up really quick here. Okay. So we do have the Leo is in the sun is in Leo, and it is in a square with Uranus and Taurus, guys. So this is about the determination to get things done. This is no longer, you're not stagnant waiting to make a decision. This is the energy that initiates action. Anytime the sun, there's also an illumination that's involved when you get in with this, when you have the sun's energy in your life, focusing on it anyway. And so this is a time where I feel like, for especially for Leos, but anybody who is really, if you've ever just sat out in the sun and you sit out in the sun and you just absorb it, I mean, you feel 100% better just feeling plugged into that source, and it's your life source. So let's take a look here at your spirit animal. Okay. You had the snake, which is, okay, hold on just a second. I'm going to get the book here. Okay, so I got the book. Okay, so snake, guardian of an unawakened magic and creative potential. The snake is a symbol of our highest potential. It is said that our creative life force lies dormant at the base of our spine in the form of a coiled snake. Regardless of whether this image rings true for you, it is well worth considering the amount of unawakened or untapped potential within. What would life look like if you wake it up? How would it stir? How would you stir it from its slumber? An experienced teacher can lead the way, such as yoga or meditation. Make haste. The snake card appears when there is no more time to waste. Very interesting. Okay. All right, guys. So I do feel like, and I'm looking at the snake and the way that it is circling around. It's full circle is kind of what I'm saying, and I think of like the rotation cycle of us rotating around. Okay, so the first thing we have is love. Okay. And I think of nothing is more like centralized for a Leo than heart-based energy, and love is right at the heart of everything a Leo loves. As far as, well, anything that you zero in and I mean, can you deny the fact that you feel more alive when your heart's really involved, and you just love it with all your heart? I mean, it's very pivotable. Okay, so the next thing we have is flag. Don't be tempted to lower your standards. Okay, so I'm feeling like this past energy is arising for you, this retrograde energy that's really emphasized. This could be a cycle. I think of the snake too. It could be a cycle that you tend to go through. Let's see here. Okay, so we have hat. You will be playing a different role. Okay, I'm gonna need some more time, or I'm gonna need something else to feel this one out. And then let's see the next. Oh, I like this one, the camel. You guys, the camel was in the first one. Was in pile number 2. I would definitely check out pile number 2. It says the camel, persevere and you will overcome a problem. Interesting. Okay, so I feel like you guys you are very caught up in all of this energy, especially in the quarter of the moon energy, where you are trying to make something thrive and grow and flourish. And the sun really does all of that. So it's a centralized focus on that for you. This is a cycle. And whenever I think of something like this, I think of maybe you used to go around and around about it, but you're not anymore. We have 7. 7 is also in pile number 2, guys. So 7 is a big, big number. 7 signifies just a change. It's a time of progression. It's a time of personal growth. And so for you, I think that this is just steering you in, on that time where you have to, really take a look at this and, grow from it. Okay, sorry about that, guys. My dog, they were playing with my dog, and my dog wanted to come in. And so we were talking about 7 and how we were changing everything. Time of personal growth. I do think of the Plutonian feel to this. I do think that when we have this beautiful sextile between Jupiter and Neptune, I do think it's a time to centralize you. I feel like it's a change. Like you're going to be wearing many hats. So you might be dealing with many aspects of life right now. And that can be a little confusing, especially when, I would definitely remove distractions from you and keep you focused on you. I think that's going to be very important in this energy. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that everything was okay. um, so anyhow, okay, here's our soul card. And look at this card. I love this card. One of the things I'm focusing on is the fact that these two people have their backs to each other. So it's a very independent. I think of yin and yang. I think of black and white type of thinking. But I also think of this merging the middle ground of it. So I feel like, this could be like if some of you are reconnecting with past base people, if love is on the table for you, I feel like this might be you might be going toward one of the healthiest relationships you've been in, because you guys aren't leaning on each other. You guys are independent and you have your backs to each other because you trust each other. There's a sense of peace to where you don't have to be so consumed with each other, almost like a codependent relationship. This might be a cycle that you guys are breaking in that particular area. Okay, that's the vibe I got from that card. So, I just saw the courage card, so I'm just going to go ahead and take it. Obviously, we're in Leo season, so lion and courage has everything to do with all this action-oriented energy of Leo season. Pretty big and pivotal there. Okay, let's see what the planets are doing here. Okay. So courage. It's a very important time for you to muster up, especially when you're talking love. If some of you have given up on love, this is a time to be courageous and put yourself back out there. I think of the snake and being like on this cycle, and maybe you were in relationships that, weren't that healthy. And I think moving forward, you just get some great energy. Okay, so we have the moon in Libra, which is the Two of Swords. Okay, so you got the Six of Swords and you got the Nine of Pentacles. Normally the Nine of Pentacles, guys, is a wish card, but it's in reverse. Very interesting here. This is Libra energy, so we're talking about partnerships. It's making a decision and having a difficult time making that decision. Sometimes Libras can be super indecisive if they're weighing out the pros and cons. I also see with the soul card, with the back being to each other, that can be weighing out the masculine and feminine energy. So that could be the emotional side of things as well as the action-oriented energy. That doesn't have to be a man and a woman. It can simply be the masculine energy and a feminine energy. Feminine energy is always emotional. Masculine energy is usually always like an action-oriented energy. Okay, we have the Six of Swords in reverse. So this is hesitant movement. So something you're hesitant that you're going to need some courage to move forward with. Maybe some of you had given up on something that was really important to you, something that you really needed. And so I think you're going to be moving forward. But there's some resistance. Now, like I said, normally this is the card where I say, hey, you get to make a wish, and but for some reason, there's a hesitancy in thinking that you can manifest something in your material realm, in your physical realm. And so for some of you, it may be an area where you thought, it's very heart-based, you're very passionate about it, but you have given up on it. And so there's almost a resistance to the wish. It's like we always talk about things we want. We always dream about things we want. But when we really wish for it, we hesitate. Well, when you hesitate, you also manifest hesitation. And it's a cycle that you've been on. It's something that you think you've learned. And so you have this, this inability to accept this new cycle and to move forward with it. It is something that you have to take a look at, and you have to feel why am I hesitating? Like, what am I? And we're in a moon in Scorpio this week, and it's in really intense aspects. This could be a relationship that took away your power. And so you're really scared that now that you have all this power back in your life, to share that experience with somebody else. And especially with this moon in Libra thing, I just think of the love. I think that I really honestly think that this has to do with a heart-based thing, a heart-based endeavor for you. And the fact that, look, if we're ever going to wish for something, we have to give it 100% of that wish, or we give it 100%, or we give it maybe 20% of hesitation. It's whatever you're most emotionally connected to as well. Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure that this is still recording here. Okay. So let's take a look at our clarifying cards. See what they have to say. Oh, but you guys got the wish again upright. Oh my God, I totally love this. Okay. So I think what you guys need to do is to let go of the resistance and the hesitation. I'm feeling a lot of hesitation. As soon as you let go of that resistance, you turn this wish around, you turn this around, and you really connect with hope in this area. So this is the Jupiter and the sextile that's happening between Jupiter and Neptune is all about making those dreams come true, expanding the potential of that dream, revisiting it. So this is about something that you let go of, something that you're now I mean, and this could be on some deeply internal level. Like this could be so deep that you don't know that you have this hesitation within you. It will be unearthed in this energy. And it's gonna involve a lot of courage to put yourself back out there and to aspire for this, because this is something that is in the physical realm. This is not a spiritual wish. This is not a connection to spirit or about a life or your path or your purpose. This has something to do with makes you feel heart-based and on a very passionate level in the material realm, because it's a pentacle. Okay. So let's see what else we have here. It's still filming. Okay. All right. Oh, yikes. Okay, so we have the 10 of Swords and other depictions. This card's pretty intense because it's the guy that has all of the swords in his back. I prefer this one because the end of a cycle and a completion is a release. It's freedom from that. But it does take a lot of courage to move forward after an experience like this. So you have a learned response in you. Mentally, you have learned something. I don't think that it's entirely accurate. I think it's almost like a jaded or a bitterness toward it, but it's being illuminated right now. It's being focused on and centralized on. And so I think that that's a really important thing for you to revisit in your life, because right now the wish is centering on that. And so it is something that karmically, because all this energy is really highlighting relationships for you. I mean, I just keep seeing relationships. Oh, and then look, we have another 7. 7s are huge in the readings right now. This is a time where you have to let go of this. It can be very confusing. It can be emotionally overwhelming. So you're really going to want to minimize the amount of emotional situations that you subject yourself to, because that will leave you confused, and then you will be stuck in a lot of pro and con energy, and you'll just be mentally overstimulated. So you don't want to do that in this energy, because it can. If you're wearing too many hats, then you can't focus and centralize on the one thing that you're supposed to, which is this progression moving forward. That there is a hesitation in. You need to release this from your energy. Okay, we have the Page of Pentacles here. Whenever I see the Page of Pentacles, I think of this is a new journey. This is something that you're learning in the physical realm. And so when you're moving forward and you're learning this lesson in the physical realm, it is something that I don't know, it's a different perspective on it, maybe. I mean, it's with the wisdom and the knowledge and the completion of the cycle, but yet it's a growth cycle as well, for you, because this is something that you've given up hope on, but it's something that's very heart based for you. And you will, when you hit Leo season, start to go into very heart based energy. It'll be very important. Okay, we have the Knight of Cups. I always think of the smooth talker when I see this little guy here. He's my player. He's the emotional manipulator, because he can get you to do pretty much anything he wants. He's just, I don't know, super charming. I don't know, like I just have a thing with this card. He just says all of the right things, and his energy is it's funny because it's the King of Cups. So you would think that would be more feminine, but I think it's more about playing on the feeling side of you, the emotional side of you. Or he has a tendency to tug at the heartstring. And I feel like that's a cycle that used to happen. It used to happen. It doesn't any longer, but it's definitely a cycle that you've been through. Yeah, I feel that with that card. Okay, but then you've got the Knight of Swords here. I'm very interested in these knights because this is the progression of energy, but yet we had that Six of Swords, in reverse. Oh, I think of the completion of this cycle and the actions that you need to take to move forward. And this energy, it does require you to be emotionally confident, and to have that emotional momentum. But at the same time, this needs to make sense to you. So I find that super interesting. So I think what you're wrestling with is that instinctual need, that connection, that emotional desire. I think you're wrestling with, a logical learned response to things, like something that is ingrained and you've learned to take action based on that cycle of learning. And so I feel like that's all being released for you. Interesting. Okay. Let's go ahead here, and take a look at your oracle cards. All right. So the card that we have next is Passion and Pleasure, Savor for Life, or Savor Your Life, please. That's all Leo. That's all fire and heart-based energy. I mean, you guys are really going to have a turning point this week for you. It's a release and a let go. It's a time where you kind of empower your life again and you take action and you move forward, with something that I think is a cycle that you've needed to move forward with for a very long time. Let's see here. I'm going to move these to the side. Just going to move them over here. Okay. I just like to pull them over here because that way it gets everything out of the way so that I have enough room to have my oracle cards. And I'm sorry I'm doing a voiceover. Somehow I lost all the audio. Not quite sure how. And so I'm having to re-narrate this. Thank goodness I remember everything about this reading. I'm going to have to get creative on some of the sound effects. All right. Okay. All right. Next one we have is transformation. And, I do feel like this is a cycle. This is something that you've had to let go and you have to move forward with. And this is something that was mentally overwhelming at one time. There was a lot of consequences. You learned a pretty tough lesson. And as you're moving forward, it's like you get to move forward from a cycle in your life where, you learned a really, really hard lesson. But the lesson that you learned will make you not learn this lesson again. So even if it makes this wish materialize, because the timing is better for this, because you understand that you're no longer caught in those cycles of those Saturn lessons where you just cycle and cycle and cycle until you really unearth the entire lesson. I feel like for you, you've done that bit. It is a hard time letting go of cycles of learning. I mean, and going to the next step is always, some people never do, and some people resist this. And I look at this and I think that the elephant and just the listening of the elephant. But one thing that I'm really caught by is that elephants never forget. Like they never, never, never forget, And I feel like that's where you're at, is that release of, I mean, you don't have to forget, you just have to forgive. And you just have to learn that you just have to look at this as a learning cycle that you needed to complete so that you could get to the point to where you could have that true happiness and stability and longevity and, points in your life where you get to be happy. Because there's a lot of intense energy out there, guys, really testing us. And, going after what your heart deeply desires, just, on that level, will really make this time, it will keep you empowered in your life instead of the world taking away your power all the time like it likes to do. Okay, so we have Belladonna. This is such a pretty card. I mean, wow, what a beautiful card. I mean, the art is exquisite in this card. I really love all the pinks and the purples. It's so pretty. I'm going to have to get the book here for this one. Okay, so Belladonna, also known as deadly nightshade. Belladonna means beautiful lady in Italian. The herb may have gained this name through centuries of use in cosmetics, from being made into a tonic to dilute women's pupils to being used to color or blush the skin. But belladonna herself is an herb that is very alluring and demands respect. In a short story, a beautiful young woman has tended to her father's garden of poisonous plants all her life, immune to their toxins. But she becomes poisonous herself to other humans. Belladonna is very seductive and powerful in her charms, and she does not suffer fools. I'm kind of feeling a little bit, you guys, like as I'm looking at this, I'm kind of feeling that cups energy, that King of Cups energy a little bit. But I'm just looking at this card because I'm so mesmerized by how beautiful it is and how much I love this plant so much. I do think that unpredictability is not necessarily a negative thing or indicative of someone who is flaky or undependable. That's so funny because I can't handle like flaky flaky people. And someone who is trying to gain favor through sweet or flattery may be wary of accepting gifts or compliments. They have nefarious plans and are trying to get under your skin. So this is totally interesting to me because I do think that people get caught in toxic relationships. Okay, so that's really interesting. Again, I'm kind of seeing purples, guys, not gonna lie. I have seen purples in the last reading too. I'm thinking of don't lower your standards, and then I was also thinking of like a smooth talker, or maybe you used to fall for people that weren't worthy of you, and I'm feeling like they were super toxic. And this was a cycle that you were in, or a period of time that you were in, or for a really long time. When you think of how long it took in the story for her to build up a resistance to the toxins, that sometimes when you're around toxic people, it's like you can become toxic yourself. It could have been a cycle that you were in. You didn't realize how horrible the relationship was. Oh my gosh, interesting. The ghost dance. Let me take a look at that one, okay? Okay, so the ghost dance. All right, so the ghost dance of the American Plains Indians united the spirits of the living with those of the ancestors to bring peace to the world. When the ancestors are honored, they bring harmony to us. And when we hold them responsible for all that is wrong with us today, they haunt us. Honor the spirits of the ancestors and receive their lessons and gifts. This includes honoring your own past lives. I'm freaking out, guys, because so this is totally reminding me of pile number 2. I definitely think you need to go check that out. But I'm feeling like this is almost like a life lesson that you've been learning on ancestrally. And so when you learn lessons ancestrally, they're almost like lessons that have been passed on from like generation to generation. And you are the one to break that mold, to free yourself from that, to stop that cycle from happening in your guys' life. This is a very interesting reading for me because it's kind of taking a turn where I saw this bright, shiny sun, but what I really think it's doing is illuminating you and helping you focus on the right things, and illuminating parts of you that are deep. And because we have this big quarter moon that's going to be happening in Scorpio, we also have a pretty intense like end of week, because it starts to mentally unearth some things in us and makes us highly sensitive, because we have all this intense energy with Neptune. I feel like what's being emphasized for you is deeply, deeply embedded. And so it's something that you got to break free from. Oh my gosh, look, we have trust. Okay, so take a look at this card, guys. We go from the caterpillar, we go to the butterfly coming out of its cocoon, and its wings are still wet, to flying, to releasing yourself. So I feel freedom in this card. I feel like you're breaking free from a cycle that has been ongoing for a long and very significant period of time. And, I look at the transformation, and isn't it weird that we got transformation in here and then we got wish? Oh, I'm very interested in this because you guys, this is about the physical realm. This is about being free and changing your life. And this is about like that progression in energy. As we learn life lessons, as we progress and we move through, we do get freed enough to invite new energy into our lives. But there's a point of where you have to, and I keep thinking of pile number 2. That's why I keep thinking you guys should go check it out, because it was a tower card. This could be after the tower moment, or you could find connections in that reading for sure. And then we have honesty. Well, we do have some truth telling that's going to come out in this energy. It could be stuff about the past. It could also be ghosts from the past, revisiting old stories from the past. I feel as well, some toxic behaviors or toxic relationships or cycles, I'm feeling as well. It's just the truth and the honesty of being illuminated enough to not seek out what you have learned to be a normal cycle. You know what I mean? Like it's having the courage to move forward. And, to stop that cycle, that vicious cycle that everybody tends to get in, especially when you are triggered through all of this intense energy, this energy that wants to take away your power and control you. You don't want that anymore. I mean, you want to break free from all of that. You want choices. So here's garden, and it's something lovely will grow from this. So it's hard, because when I think of the butterfly and I think of this little plant and it's sprouting, and we're in this first quarter of the moon, so we have sow a seed and it is rooting and it is growing. And there's a time period where the wings are wet of the butterfly where they can't quite fly yet. But the growth, the potential is there to fly. And so the potential is for this hope and these wishes to manifest. But first you have to really, truly, deeply release this energy, this indecision that you have here. This is really beautiful energy. I mean, wow. It took a pretty serious turn, I'm not gonna lie, because I thought it would be like all fun living like Leos are and just, super chill. But no, this took a different turn for me. So I'm gonna move all these aside so that we can make room, to do for us to do some letters here. So first we're gonna do charms, guys. So I'm just gonna dig deep in here. Okay, I'm gonna put them down. All right. Okay. All right. Okay, so it looks like our first one we have here is the arrow, and I think of the way the direction that you're pointing in, but I also think that it's like a compass going north. It's kind of like pointing you in the direction. I think we have this on pile number 2, by the way. And then we have the frog, and I think of, I don't know, I love you, warts and all is coming to mind for some weird reason. But also, the frog is just like one of my most favorite things. I do think of like how moist they have to stay, so connected to your emotions maybe. And then I love you. Well, you have all this heart-based energy right now. And so, of course, I'm getting the frog I love, but the Knight of Cups here, the Knight of Cups can just signify that it's an offer of love and acceptance. It's emotional validation as well, but also just it's like zeroing you in and centering in on the things that you love. And then we have a wish here, guys. You guys are, it's really being emphasized that you guys need to make a wish. Like, this making a wish is a powerful intention. It's an intention that you can manifest with enough emotional momentum and if your heart and your soul is behind it. And so if you can let go of these things that you think that you have learned telling you that you can't have this wish, if you can let that go, this you have the potential to seed that energy and to have it grow and flourish and start to, attract this type of energy into your life. I mean, wow, wishes are huge for you right now. This is crazy. It's just to me, when I look for these synchronicities, and every time I do, I think of, like I do think of the tower with this particular charm just because it was in the reading number 2. So I definitely think that 2 and 3 are kind of linked for you. Um, just because the tower is showing up in this particular reading, and that to me just signifies, that something is being overemphasized, I guess. And then we have the bird and the dove, and I always think of a message. And in pile number 2, they were getting a message. And so I also think, though, it's the freedom flight came to mind, and freedom of the butterfly here. I think of that. Um, you know, the freedom, I think of like how freeing it is to be able to fly. I think of flight in Jupiter here. It's that making Jupiter is benefic and it makes your wishes come true. It expands everything it touches. I think of the children in the air jumping. Gosh, I just see a lot of energy around flight. That's very interesting. You guys, I'm sorry, it's super hot here. I'm wearing a sundress. I didn't realize you could see me, you know, honestly. Okay, so let's go ahead and, okay, so we're going to dig really deep. Oh, let me just dig really deep as the moon in Scorpio. Okay, let's get it out. Okay. Alrighty, let's take a look at these. Hopefully I get a lot of vowels. I can't stand it when I can't. Okay. Okay, let's take a look here. Oh, goodness. Okay, we have B-E, A, I think a B-E-A, beautiful. This is from a movie. Oh, it's from, what's that movie? B-E-A, Liar, Liar. Pretty sure oh my gosh, I think of the kids and jumping and having fun. So I do feel the Leo energy in here, that childlike energy where you want to have fun and you want to just go have a good time. Rift, interesting. Maybe there was once a rift and you're trying to mend that rift. Okay. All right. not having any luck finding. Hopefully there's fun here. Because that's totally... no, we don't have an N. What the heck? We don't have an N and it's freaking Leo. That's crazy town. Okay. Trying to find something else, guys. I'm not. Okay. Oh, no way. No, wait, hold on a second. I think I see something here. Oh my gosh, this is cute. I like you. Oh, that's so cute. Like, I just think of like when somebody really likes you, you get that warm feeling. I love that feeling. It's very heart-based. Let me see here. Just trying to find a card. Sorry. Oh, I can't find it. Never mind. Oh, I love that so much. I mean, I'm not able to put together a lot of words, so maybe I like you is being very, very emphasized. Not to mention, we do have a lot of love energy here. Oh my God, beet. Ooh, I think of the color of belladonna. The beet color, the really rich red, burgundy, magenta color, that might be something. Plus, the purple is gold and purple are Leo colors. Okay. Oh my gosh, I just love that I like you. It's the wart. And then remember when I said I love you warts and I love you warts and all. That's so crazy. The frog. I think of the frog too in this. Um Fluke. Interesting. It could have been just a fluke of words or fluke that you met, or it might be a fluke that you meet somebody. Is there anything else here? Let's see. Okay. I'm taking way too long on these letters for certain. Quiet. That's interesting. Okay, guys, I'm going to get some numbers here. Okay. Okay, we're going to lay these down. All right. Okay, guys. These are your numbers. I can't. It drives me crazy when I can't come up with a lot of letters. But anyhow, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. This might be up a little bit late because I had to do the voiceover and then I had to edit because the editing is going to be stupid in this video. But I just want to thank you guys so much for hanging in there and dealing with the fact that the sound quality is a little strange. Um, hmm. Tie. Okay. Tile. I do think of tiles and ancestors, not gonna lie. Like the connection or let's see here. Bake. Maybe some of you like to bake. I don't know. Rake. Ooh, I think of this little guy right there. Sorry, he came to mind. Smooth talker, you. But anyhow, guys, thank you so much for everything. And just go out there and be the change that you want to see in the world. And I look forward to seeing you guys again next week.